According to endometriosis.org, endometriosis affects an estimate of 1 in 10 women during their reproduction years, usually 15 to 49 years old, which is approximately 176 million women in the world. Sadly, this is a chronic illness that constantly gets misdiagnosed, no media coverage, and hardly any studies to find a cure. My research has information I would like to share with you today. First, I'll explain what is endometriosis and how does it happen, and then outline the impacts it has on people's body. What is endometriosis? Endometriosis is a disorder in which tissue similar to the tissue that grows in the lining of the uterus to grow outside of the uterine cavity. Endometriosis happens when endometrial like tissues grow on your ovaries, bowel, and tissue lining your pelvis. It is unusual for endometriosis to grow outside of your pelvic region, but it does happen. For an example, when I was diagnosed, they found endometriosis obviously in the pelvic region, but also my stomach and a little bit of my lungs. The hormonal changes of your menstrual cycle affects the misplaced endometrial tissue, causing the area to become inflamed and painful. This means that the tissue will grow, thicken, and sometimes break down. If it does not break down, the broken tissue will become trapped in your pelvis, causing it to become inflamed and irritated and painful. Now that you're aware of what is it, let's move on to the symptoms. What are the symptoms of endometriosis? According to Healthline, the symptoms are painful periods, pain in the lower abdomen, back, and legs, causing cramps happening 1 to 2 weeks prior to your menstrual cycle, heavy bleeding, and infertility. Mental symptoms include anxiety, depression, mood swing, and brain fog. Now, what are the effects it has on our health? According to Nancy Nook, endometriosis causes people to miss an average of 2 to 3 weeks out of the month. This absence sometimes isn't covered by companies or school. For an example, when I was diagnosed and I was recovering from my surgery, I tried to tell my previous school that I would like to be accommodated for remote learning. They told me it wasn't possible and they could not provide that service for me. However, 2 weeks later, everyone got sent home because COVID happened, and now remote learning is a vital option for people now during this time, which affects me personally, which affects me personally because it is unfair that it took a global pandemic to realize that these are accommodations that majority of people who have physical disabilities and mental disabilities need in order to function and excel well in school. Most people become depressed. Most people become depressed and often try to commit suicide from the lack of awareness and treatment. In order to get diagnosed, surgery is required, and majority of the time it is quite expensive and not an option for everyone. Now that you are aware what is endometriosis and how it affects the body, although there is no cure, getting treatments such as physical therapy, hormonal therapy, and medication can help the pain. Hopefully, I've informed you enough to bring awareness.